G'day and welcome to the GameFace Footy Show here at GameFace HQ live in Studio 1. We're excited to rip into SFNL Div 4 and all the action that happened over last week and what's going to happen this weekend as well. I'm going to welcome to the panel Will. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How was your Easter?
Oh, mate, it was sensational. Chocolate everywhere. Lots of kids. But I'm ready for a rest, to be honest. They've gone back to school, thank God for that. 3 boys can really make you tired. Paddy, how about you, mate? How'd you go with your kiddies?
Yeah, they were good, mate. They were very good. Insane sugar highs, but yeah, we're trying to cleanse them out now, so all good.
I reckon everybody out there can feel our pain. If you've got kids, yeah, we understand. Let's go through the top stories that happened in Div 4 over the last week. Lyndhurst pushed by Linda. South Yarra upset CPL and Dandenong. Competitive boys. Lyndhurst 9-5-59 defeat Linda 7-8-50. Let's talk through this game. What have you got for me, Will?
Well, it was a pretty bloody good performance from Lindale, given what they'd dished up in the previous couple of weeks. Their first 2 rounds, they lost by a total of 280 points in those 2 games. They've been comprehensively outplayed. They needed to lift, and they did just that. They came out, they made a statement, they ran Lyndhurst, last year's grand finalists, obviously, to 9 points.
We spoke about that with Linda last week with what they needed to do to regroup and become competitive, and clearly whatever they've done's work, so good on them for that. And Lyndhurst maybe a bit more work to do. So, but the conditions at Marriott, it gets really, really windy, and one side of that ground, the ball can just get stuck there, so it can make it a really low scoring affair out there, even though it is, a big, beautiful ground, you would think.
Yeah.
But in those conditions, it can make it tough and it can keep sides in a game. So well done for Lindale for being able to do that.
Well, Lindale 7-8-50. Imagine if they could have converted. I know it's easy to see when you look at the score. You don't know what happens in the game situation. But 7-8-50. But Lyndhurst 9-5. That's pretty accurate for a windy, blustery day. Yep. Close game. You always love a good close game of football. Obviously, 2 teams that are quite competitive with each other.
Would have been an exciting contest to watch as well, Robbo, which is all you can really ask for a spectator if you're rolling in and paying your money to get in through the gate. And yeah.
Wouldn't be happy though if you're sitting. Usually, with how the wind goes at Marriott, there's the pavilion, and then the wind blows straight across, and the ball gets stuck out the other side. So you're not seeing much footy if you're stuck there on a windy day. But
no worries. Well, let's move on to the next game. CPL 6-4-40 defeated by South Yarra 10-11-71. Did you catch this one, Will?
No, I didn't, and I didn't see it coming either. CPL, one of the sides I expected to do pretty well this year, Paddy, and South Yarra just gone over to Dyson Road and give them a touch-up.
I rate CPL pretty highly, and did not see this coming at all. They've had a tough couple of weeks, and I expected them to bounce back pretty strongly.
Is it true form though? I mean, you look at obviously you're looking at the team that's going. That's a pretty good team on paper. Yep. Is it true form? Are they just down at the moment?
I don't know, because you look at the names that are in their best week in, week out, and
they're the usual suspects. Same
people.
You expect to be there.
Is the depth's not quite there? I don't know. Without having seen them firsthand this year, it's really hard to say. But I think they'll bounce back. But it was a shock result for me. So
it certainly was. I mean, CPL, as we said off the top, one of the sides we both expected to do pretty well. They're sitting 1 and 2. Where to next for them?
Just got to win.
Yeah.
There's no other ifs or buts about it. They've got to come out this week and make a statement, and it's not a statement to the competition. It's a statement to themselves as a group that they are as good as they should be, and that they have done everything required. So they need to do it for each other.
Kane Padman wouldn't be happy with this result, I wouldn't have thought.
No, but he's usually pretty open and honest and makes no excuses for things. So he'll go back and work out where they're at, what they need to do, and they will bounce back. It's just whether maybe we've overjudged them a little bit, or they're just not where they need to be.
Conversely, maybe are we underselling South Yarra? Bear in mind, they've come down from Division 3. They've played some alright footy. They don't have a home ground yet. They haven't played a home game yet, as far as I know. They're better than I expected, to be honest.
They've been more competitive than I've expected. They have had a couple of tough games. I think Lyndhurst in round 1 gave them a bit of a touch-up in the second half. But maybe they're getting better as they go along and seeing that they are competitive in this division. So,
well said, boys. Good stuff. Let's move on to the other results. Moorabbin 5-3-33 defeated by Frankston 6-16-52. Inaccuracy from Frankston. 200 games to Fabian Peter there, Will.
Yeah, club servant. He's a good man, Fabian. He's been there a while, and 200 games. Congratulations, Fabian. Well deserved,
Well
man.
done.
Tip of the hat to that. Not easy to do, play 200 games for any club or at senior football anywhere. Dandenong, 9-10-64, defeated by Hallam, 15-11-101. Less than 2 goals in it at half-time. Obviously, something happened in either team's change rooms. One made them play bad and one made them play well. Did you see it? Did you catch much of it? Caught any wind as to why this happened, boys?
Well, Dandenong, they look like they've improved a little bit on last
Yeah.
year, and every week you can see that gradual improvement,
A new
which
coach,
is great to see.
yeah, a new coach can do that as well, and it does take time. And he only took over very late in the pre-season,
Yep.
so it will take time for them to adjust to what he's wanting out of them. But good result for them, really. Like, they didn't get the win, but they were competitive for most of the game. I think in the last quarter they were still within 3 goals at about the 10-minute mark,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
well and truly in that game.
The results sometimes really can belie what goes on within a
Yeah.
game. So we can see it on a GameFace app, for instance, and go, well, Hallam absolutely smashed Dandenong, but it's not necessarily the truth. So the message in all that is download the GameFace app from the Google App Store and you can catch games live, because blokes like you, Will, you're out there live streaming and giving interviews and doing all that sort of stuff.
You
But
can't be at 17 games in a weekend, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but
You
you
can
can with
see
the GameFace app. You know exactly what's going on.
well said, boys. Now, I know you work really hard at putting together a team of the week. The Div 4 team of the week for this particular week, we're going to go from the back line all the way to the in-change, boys. I'll hand it over to you.
Alrighty, do you want to kick us off, Paddy?
Yeah, no worries. From the backs, we've got Charlie Pascazio from Frankston Dolphins, Eddie Gates, and Paul Marorcha from CPL.
Pretty solid back line. William Hickman, his teammate at CPL on the flank.
Booming kick on him too.
He's a
Absolutely booming kick.
Ryan Hensel at Lyndhurst at centre half back. You said that was he surprised you a little bit this year.
Yeah, he has. He's obviously come a long way. Was a reserves best and fairest winner there last year. Good player, but I didn't see him getting to the spot that he's at the moment. I'm absolutely wrapped for him, so well done, Ryan.
So yeah, very well done. And Matt Pascazio, second Pascazio we've got in the back half. Frankston Dolphins on the other back flank.
Through the middle, we've got Trent Isbitster from.
Isbitster.
Pretty good effort.
I'm trying my best. From Lindale, Julian Belfrage from South Yarra, and Chris Scully from Moorabbin.
Pretty solid centre line there. Brendan Bird from South Yarra on the flank, kicked a couple of goals on the weekend. His teammate Sean Fowler at centre half forward, and Dave Barry from Dandenong. We haven't had too many Dandenong players out there this year, but yeah, Dave Barry.
He's been consistent for a while too. Like
Yeah.
last year, kicked, for them, I think he was their leading goal kicker, was consistently kicking, 2 or 3 goals for them in low-scoring affairs, so good on him.
And he's loyal servant of that club as well, been there a while. So
Very long time, yeah. From the full forward line, we've got my boy Jared McGrath, little albino kid, but yeah, keep working, mate. Jack Charlazian and Trent Day.
Comes in his own in the winter.
hasn't he been a fine Jack Charlazian from Hallam?
Yeah,
Been amongst the goals.
from going out and watching him as well, I think he catches defenders unaware because he doesn't really look like a footballer, but he just gets to the spots and finds it, so good.
It's a cheeky backhand. For Jack Slashy, no, he's doing a very good job. Very backhanded compliment. Naruk, Scotty Steghouse from South Yarra. Geez, he's a good player. The playing coach down there at the Yarras. Charlie Gardner, absolute gun. Ruck Rover and Brandon Ward as well from Lyndhurst as well. Pretty solid lineup there.
Yeah, very good. In the interchange, Justin Isaac, been consistently kicking goals this year, so good on him. Rory McIver, you rate him pretty highly.
Very,
so,
very highly.
Yep.
Can
Dylan Thompson and Reggie Hall from Frankston.
He's a gun too, Reggie.
Yes,
Yes, good man.
Good stuff, boys. Well done. Now, I can tell you quite categorically, I've received and been at the end of plenty of sprays from coaches in my day. I played a lot of football under some really rowdy coaches. One of them was so rowdy, his nickname was Rowdy, Neil Danaher. Now, you see him and you think, he's a fantastic guy and we know what he's doing with the MND, but my word, he could sure give me a spray back in the day, and I deserved every last bit of it. Paddy, what's your coach's style? Did you ever spray anyone?
Given a fair few sprays there. We had a rule that I was only allowed to give 4 a year. Otherwise, I was just a bloke who was yelling all the time. So we tried to cut it down as much as we could.
You had a rule only 4.
Only 4, yeah. Otherwise, the message wasn't coming. But yeah.
Yeah, I was coaching down at St Joey's in Geelong, and I was told, you can spray, but just no swearing. One bloke that really doesn't buy into the swearing aspect is a bloke by the name of Rocket E. Now, obviously, it's not his name, Rocket, but he's given that nickname because he gives plenty of rockets, and Will Minson can testify to that. The poor man's copped a couple of sprays from our man, Rocket Eve. Someone has sent us, this has come across Will's desk, actually, sent by a friend of his. It's Rocket himself giving a spray, not at a game, but at training. Have a look at this.
The pitch on the back. Oh, please get comfortable. I won't f***ing piss in your pockets anymore. You're going to serve that shit up. Stand it over. No pressure. It's f***ing bullshit. Get your f***ing... It's all here. You don't lose your skill in f***ing one night. It's all f***ing mental. Quit taking the pads off. We're a f***ing good side. We're a good team. We beat South Croydon lost to Rover by 20 goals. They're f***ing no good. You know, if you set up that shit on Friday, you won't be in the f***ing team. I don't care whether it's you or f***ing you. I'll blame blokes and want to have a go and stick to the f***ing team. You don't want to stick to it.
How good was that, Will?
I'm glad I wasn't in that huddle, mate. I can tell you right now. But
What about the gauntlet, the bloke who's obviously must get round the club? I don't think he's going to be invited back by Rocket Eat anytime soon.
He's not going to be welcome around there for a while.
Mate,
If that was me, I would not be happy with that. But
playing twos for the rest of the year, I think. But I also don't think Rocket will accept their invitations to come on the show anytime soon either.
Yeah,
But
right.
he's been in the news this week, hasn't he,
Yes.
Rocket, for a little piece of audio, vintage audio from
Hey.
about 10 years ago.
high quality though, high quality.
Yeah, stick with it, Rocket. You've
Lost
been
count
doing it
of times I
for
watched that.
decades now, mate, and a great Tasmanian bloke, mate. I love you too.
Yeah,
Send us your best sprays on the GameFace SFNL group chat or group Facebook page. We'd love to play that sort of stuff here on our footy shows because you know what? We love hangers and we love goals and all that stuff, but that sort of stuff is absolute footy gold, isn't
This
it?
is what I live for. And I've said previously, just off air, that a couple of the things that he said in that video that went viral, I could attest to, like F you Will and F and run Will. I've heard those
Just
a few
run,
times.
Will, run.
Even from this bloke back in the day.
You big idiot.
You big idiot. That's awesome. I love that one.
No, we
All
love
right.
seeing that sort of stuff. So send them in, guys. It's what makes us tick.
Absolutely. Upcoming games, boys. We're going to talk through it. Give me your tips. CPL hosting Moorabbin. Let's go for it.
Sort of expecting a bit of a response from CPL this week. They wouldn't have been happy with the loss to South Yarra. They'll bounce back and account for Moorabbin in this one, I think.
I really think they will, but that said, Moorabbin's not an easy task, so will be interesting to see. But I'm giving CPL one more chance. So
All right, we move on to Lindale versus Dandenong. Dandenong performing okay. Will they get over Lindale?
Look, they could. They could. This one, you know, taking aside their performances in the first 2 weeks,
Yep.
Lindale,
Yep.
you would have thought that Dandenong would have a massive show.
Yeah.
Looks like they turned it around
Yeah.
against Lyndhurst. Hard to see how this one will go, to be honest.
2 weeks ago, I would have picked Dandenong, just with how Lindale were travelling. On the back of last week, I think Lindale probably will get the chocolates, but it could be a close game. Could be a good game to watch.
Could be very close,
A week is a long time in football, isn't it? Anything can happen. You just got to
especially
tune
in
in.
Division 4.
Yeah, in Division 4, that's right.
Well,
Let's move on to the next game.
Lindale for me as well, by the way.
Lindale, yep. Hallam versus South Yarra.
This will be a good game. This will be a very good game.
Yep.
I think Hallam have shown enough in the first 3 weeks of the season that they could be up there. They can play finals footy. They've got what it takes, I think. I know it's a big call because you know we're still in April, but I think on the back of that they'll probably be too good for South Yarra.
It is only round 4, so I won't be going that high. But they do have massive potential, and I will go Hallam as well. So
Rounding it out this weekend will be Dolphins taking on the Lightning. Boys, how are we seeing this one?
Another one. If you'd asked us that question maybe 2 weeks ago, we'd have probably a different answer for you.
Mm-hmm.
Those two sides, you know, we probably had in our calculations for you know,
being in the
premiership
top
contention,
top
I would've
3,
thought.
those two sides. But yeah,
And I still think that both of them have, you know, what it takes. Frankston at home for mine, I think.
I don't like to tip against Lyndhurst. So
It's still
it's-
there for you, mate.
It
isn't
is. It
Still
is.
there.
I think Frankston at home will be very hard. but Lyndhurst have got a lot of good things going for them, so I will back them.
You're not reading too much into their game last week against Lindale? Or the conditions?
I'd say the conditions. I'd expect a big game from Hamish Browning. He was a little bit quiet last week from what I've seen. Kid can play, and up against a quality side, I reckon he'll show something. So
tore it to pieces in the grand final last year as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got some talent, this Browning.
Yep, that's been the GameFace Footy Show for Division 4 SFNL. Paddy, thanks to you, mate. Appreciate your efforts putting together that team of the week. It's always a difficult one, isn't it? You want to get everybody in there because everyone's having a crack, but you do a great job. Thanks for joining us.
cheers, mate.
Good on you, Will, you big idiot. I've learned something about you today. I'm going to use that every single show. The big idiot, as dubbed by Paddy over here. Back in the plane. Got nothing to come back with that one.
Oh, I can't argue. Spot on.
Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll be back next week to bring you everything to do with SFNL Division 4. That's been the GameFace Footy Show. We'll see you soon.